What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Now Located Knowledge. Today we'll be covering Moon in the ninth house and what happens when the moon comes to the ninth house of your birth chart. Well, what's the moon? The moon represents our emotional response to things, our instinctual nature, how we nurture others and like to be nurtured in return. It also represents the relationship with our mother, home life, imagination, so on and so forth. The ninth house. The ninth house is a very key house. It's the house of higher learning, original house of Sagittarius, culture, pilgrimages, higher study, philosophy. So we've already done moon. It also represents, your father's teachings and things like that, your relationship with mentors and all of that. But we've already done moon in the third house. And I told you that when your moon's in the third house, it automatically makes you an intellectual. Okay? Now, with that being the house of Gemini, it's more so like that being, the original house of Gemini, moon in the third. You skim the surface on some things. You want to try everything. You want to try everything. You have a lot of hobbies. Mind constantly going in many directions. In the ninth house, the mind wants to attach itself to a system of worship or religion. It wants to belong to something. It wants to experience divine through whether it be a religion or whatever. But the moon in the ninth is searching for truth. And this position is fully ready to be devoted to whatever that truth is. All right. So this position for me, it represents a lot. We're gonna go into some more, but for one, it's like that devoted church woman, the one that never misses Bible study, the one that never misses both services on Sunday. That is a moon in the ninth. Complete emotional devotion to the divine and higher beliefs. All right. Now, how we get here is going to be determined by culture. This is really a house of culture, and your upbringing really determines your experience with moon in the ninth, along with your sign and things like that. All right. So, and keep in mind, with astrology, it's always two ways. We can have somebody who is that extremist religious person, or we can have an atheist, someone who's just like, nah, I'm not buying this. Right? So this is where the mind is in the ninth house, and it's going to become clearer through sign and things of that nature. All right. So the ninth house for me, right, especially in these modern times, it's like, along with the 12th house, it can show someone who was not born in this country, right? And since moon represents mother, it can show your mother wasn't born in this country. Your mother is of a different race or religion, something like that. And since it's the house of father, it can very much show that for father as well. All right. So it's like people with the moon in the ninth, in some capacity, a lot of you guys, depending on the sign and things like that, you're like agents to keep tradition going. All right. Because say you have somebody who has moon in the ninth, Venus, sun in the second or something, right? There's so much pride within one's family and culture or religion that you're going to keep passing this thing down. All right? Generations on generations. So this is a house where, to really understand how it's affecting the person, to go deeper past signs and aspects, look at the quality. Is this a fixed house for the person? Is this a mutable house? okay, for the person, what's going on here. And through that, we'll really get to see the person's journey, because there's a lot of different journeys here. All right, especially now. So one example is that we have the person who is born into the religion, right? Let's say they're Muslim, they're Christian, Jewish, or whatever, right? Especially for my people with Pluto in Scorpio, all right? Depending on how your individual chart is set up, you are here to expose or bring light to the things that have been shunned or kept a secret in your religion. So with all this new age thought, there's some of you out there with moon in the ninth who, on your spiritual journey, you started out with Christianity, you started out with Islam or Judaism, but once you tapped into your own opinions and beliefs, you put the things together like, that doesn't really resonate with me. All right, so keep in mind, either way you put it, this is a devoted person. This is somebody who is their emotional connection is going to come, or foundation, I said, is going to be built through their lifestyle, their spiritual life, their religion life, and what they learn through culture. So like I said, it's very important to pay attention to the sign. Now, outside of that, the ninth house also represents, higher learning. So, receiving your degree and stuff like that. The sign really will show, the sign and its depositor will show how easy you go about getting an education. The mind, say this is a ninth house Gemini or Libra. The mind really wants to set its aim at those academic goals and things like that. Your mother, your father could even be a professor. So the big thing about moon in the ninth house is that it's almost like a lineage. It's almost like a lineage. Your parents or your upbringing, it gives you this sense of direction of how to connect with the divine, and through your own experiences and forming your own perception, you either continue that or break out of it. Okay, but for here, obviously air signs are going to do a much better in the sense of academics and things like that. Say like you have Saturn ruling your ninth house, with moon here, it may delay your education, okay? But it's all ultimately, it signifies that you need to get out there, you need to connect with people, experience different cultures, and form those own opinions, right? And if you're the person, say you're an American, you might possibly, and especially if you also have 12th house energy, get out of here. You're not meant to live your adult life here. There's so much more for you abroad. You feel me? That'll open up your experiences. Okay, so like I said, moon in the ninth is much more of a devoted student, where moon in the third is like a freelance. I want to try everything. So it's best to really specialize. Secondly, you want to get out there. You want to experience. You want to experience as much as you can, right? And lastly, the mind needs some type of system to connect to, some type of ritualistic living, through whether it be religion or whatever. All right, keep in mind, if your ninth house is in Pisces or something, maybe Scorpio, religion obviously isn't going to be it may not be the route that you take, but it's calling for some type of system. So whether you do astrology, whether you're a herbalist, It's something that you need to connect to the divine through some type of higher learning. All right? So, guys, this is my interpretation of Moon in the ninth house. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. And until then, peace.